The man advised to take the deep breath is Liberal leader Stéphane Dion. He joins us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Dion.
Good afternoon, Jane. Always a good breath. Don't worry.
Well, no. Are you going to take a deep breath? Are you going to rush to judgment?
No,
he's cautioning you not to defeat the throne speech.
It's the same man that a week ago went to on TV and said to Canadians that every comma of this throne speech will be a vote of confidence. It's clear that he's looking for an election. So what we will do, we Liberals, will have in mind the interest of Canadians, and we will look this throne speech as a whole, as we have always said, and we will think about the interest of Canadians once we will have seen the throne speech.
What about the interest of Liberals? Because some people are saying it would be political suicide for you to go to the electorate right now. Why don't you just say we're not ready for an election? Be honest with Canadians and say we're not ready, we can't go now. Why don't you just do that?
It's not a matter of elections. For now, it's a matter of a throne speech. And if the throne speech is written with the view that the government is a minority one, it will be a conservative throne speech, not a liberal one. We accept that. But if it's a throne speech that is outrageous regarding the values in which we believe, we Liberals, we cannot be then in the obligation to support something we think is wrong for Canadians. Although, if it is a throne speech, don't fully agree because it's not a liberal throne speech, but it has been done in a reasonable way, on the tone that the Prime Minister used just now. Well, okay, then we'll see that in order to be sure that we'll be able to make this Parliament working.
Right, you saw that as a conciliatory tone.
Yes, now, but the week before, not at all. So it's clear that this man is able to change right away about everything. Look at the panel he did about Afghanistan. He came with 4 possibilities. And each of these possibilities is that we end our combat mission in Kandahar in February 2009.
That it does not continue past
that
time. Yes,
but the same man said a few days before, we'll stay until the job is done, whatever that means. The same man. So it's very difficult to believe, Mr. Harper. In me, you have a leader that you may believe. What I'm saying publicly is the same that what I think. And when I say publicly that we will look at this throne speech and we will think about the interest of Canadians, it's true.
You mentioned the panel, and some people are very angry with you that you're supporting John Manley, who's a very a long-time veteran Liberal, that you're supporting John Manley's membership on that panel. People are angry that you came out so softly in supporting it.
But imagine if he was not there. All the others, 3 out of 4, have strong connections with Mr. Mulroney, former clerk, former minister, former chief of staff, and ambassador to the United States. All of them have no understanding at all of Afghanistan, no expertise. The only man that has been there and care about the mission and have views about it is John Manley. So fortunately that is there. I think all of them are honorable Canadians, but most of them are known for their relationship with the United States, not with Afghanistan. And it shows that for Mr. Harper, what is important is not so much Afghanistan. It is his relationship with President Bush. And he will do nothing in Afghanistan if he doesn't have the okay of President Bush. So fortunately that we have a more moderate voice there, Mr. Manley.
Okay, so you're reassured about that. Mr. Layton...
No, I'm not reassured.
Well,
I think it's preferable that he's there than if it wasn't there.
Okay. You also, on this throne speech, you referred to that. Mr. Layton has been daring you to have all your members show up and in the House of Commons and vote either for it or vote against it, but don't do any of this sort of half-measure thing where 3 people show up or abstain or whatever. What are you going to do?
Mr. Layton has a party to manage, and I have a party. I have one, it's enough. He must take care of it.
So it's not his business.
Yes. We Liberals will have in mind the interest of Canadians. We have a lot of disagreement with the current government, but at the same time, we want this Parliament to work, and we respect the result of the last election, where it was a Conservative government that has been elected.
Minority government.
Yes, a minority government. If we have a very right-wing, radical throne speech, then it will be different. We'll see if the conciliatory tone of Mr. Harper, the last reincarnation of Mr. Harper, the last one we saw, is the real one, and not the very aggressive one we have seen a week ago when he said that everything would be a vote of confidence and so on and so on.
Yeah, because people are wondering, though, how you can support, if you do support a throne speech, how then can you continue and support all of those confidence motions that he puts forward? How can you sit there and support an agenda that your membership doesn't agree with?
I cannot speculate, Jane. You didn't see the throne speech. Let's see it, and at this very moment, we'll make our decision for the interest
Surely
of
you've
Canadians.
talked about the strategy, though, of what you're going to do. Surely you know
I
the
think
strategy.
about the principles. I think about the fact that this planet is not in good shape. Fortunately, that we had a Nobel Prize recently, who Mr. Al Gore, who highlights this difficulty, the divorce we have between humanity and the planet. Canada must take the lead of something. It must take the lead of the sustainability of the planet. We have a government now who has postponed the action to the point that the greenhouse gas emissions in Canada, according to independent research centers, will go up until 2050 with the replan of Mr.
So
Blair.
if he does that in his throne speech, something about the environment, how can you what do you do?
If
What do you
he said,
do?
I'm pleased with what we have done, as weak as it may be, and I don't want to do any more, it's different that if he said, I will do more, and this is what I intend to do to correct the weaknesses of what we have done until now. So we'll see what is in the throne speech. I just want to say that we have big challenges. Another one is the competitiveness of our country. Now that our currency is at par, we need to find other Canadian advantages to be sure that the investments will come in Canada and will give good jobs to our families and our workers. And I don't see anything for now. There is no plan from this government.
So that could be
the
a
other
deal
one is
breaker
the
for you.
poverty.
Yeah.
The poverty. We have 1 million kids in poverty in this country. Since a year and a half, nothing has been done to fight poverty in this country. If the throne speech is not addressing that, it will be a shame.
And you'll have to vote against it, obviously.
We'll see what is in the throne speech.
Before you go, I have to ask you about Mr. Chrétien's book. It's out. He pulls no punches when he deals with his relationship with Mr. Martin, which, of course, is bringing back all those decades of party infighting. At a time when you're trying to get this party together, how helpful is this to you?
First, I have strong regard for Mr. Chrétien and Mr. Martin. I was honored to serve under these great prime ministers. Second, it's about the past. Now, speaking about the future, there is another book that we need to comment. It's the one of Tom Flanagan, who is the key advisor of
So you're not going to deal with Mr. Chrétien's book at all?
Mr. Flanagan wrote that indeed they have a hidden agenda. And their agenda is a very right-wing one. And if they were a majority government, they would get rid of the Canadian Wheat Board, of the supply management, they would tackle health care, and so on and so on. So we have to keep in mind that we don't want this government to act as a majority government, because it would be detrimental for the interest of Canadians.
Mr. Dion, I want to thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, Tim.